They said, clearly I have people that support me that are on both sides of this issue. I've been here for 47 years. I have pro-lifers and I have pro-choice people that are in this. Why did they support me? Probably because I said as far as Planned Parenthood is concerned, I understand the educational value, and I sent something to Ryan this morning. I'm probably better off just sending you that because it'll be exactly what I wrote. I'm just going to paraphrase. I can actually, if this is your cell phone, I can text you a photograph of what I sent Ryan this
That'd be great.
As a clarification. I also asked him, because he said, do you want me to get this out there? And I said, I'd rather not make it an issue because I think this is an extremely sensitive issue that hasn't been like the main topic of this whole race. And why it's coming up as the main topic is perplexing to me. All of a sudden in the 11th hour, it's like some camp got a little, I don't know.
Well, I think it has something to do with...
I don't know why it's becoming an issue within 2 days of the finish of this thing.
Right. Well, my
It
understanding...
didn't come out at the very beginning.
Right. My understanding is it's becoming an issue because of the current president and Mike Pence and the Congress actively working
people are nervous. I get that part 100%. That's probably why.
And also, I know that there's
issues with education. How come issues of education aren't coming up? How come issues of things of equal importance? I won't diminish anybody's importance of anything because this one has been fought for, as long as you and I have both been alive. This thing has been fought back and forth. So, and you get your very conservative Catholic folks, and then you've got your other folks that it's just to be the main focus right now. With 2 days left in this race, to me, it's not just because you're not going to get a good response from me or the other person. It should have been part of our debates, like where we went from the very get-go.
Yeah.
But to make it an issue right now, I think it's unfair to either party, no matter which position you take. Because my issues are, again, as far as pro-life is concerned, I don't think that that's a form of contraception. Period. I think that it has to do with the woman's health. That is paramount. A woman's health and her physician's and her family's choice of what she needs to do at any given point in time. Planned Parenthood, on the other hand, does a wonderful job educating our kids, having them practice safe sex. You know what I mean? Make sure you protect yourselves and things of that nature. I mean, that's and I got a couple calls from some pro-life people yesterday wanting me to clarify why. I guess I said yes to Planned Parenthood or undecided to Planned Parenthood. They were reading, so I told them that was why. Because as far as they definitely somewhere in the middle of all of this, there's a better solution. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
To pick a side on one side or the other, it's still very broad.
Yeah.
I tend to find myself always in the middle. And I think you can see that right now that I'm not way out in left. I'm not an extreme left liberal Democrat.
Right.
I'm certainly not. I am in the middle. I'm more of like, let's just sit down and come up with a common sense fix for this issue. So this is one of those extreme issues. There's no doubt about it.
I know
you're
it's a hard
either
issue.
all the way left or you're all the way right. And somehow people can't find their way in the middle. I can see my way in the middle. So
let me ask you this. Do you think that Roe v. Wade was a good decision? I know that's a tough question. I know these are hard, but I'm just trying to narrow it down somewhat.
At the time, I guess it was the right decision. Things have changed. That's 40 some odd years ago, and there are differences of opinion right now. We have a completely different group of people that vote currently.
Sure.
I think there's certain things that the federal and the state government needs to keep themselves out of.
So you would support...
These are very personal issues. I'm going to have to say I can't comment on that. It's too late in the race. I'm not going to do that to myself. It's not fair. There's no way I'm going to commit to an answer. Yes, no, Roe v. Wade, yes, no. That's not my issue right now. My issue in Rhode Island clearly is jobs, education.
Absolutely. I know the main issues you have. So if a woman that was a big issue to her asked you, what would you be able to say? I mean, a lot of women were working at the State House this year to pass the state level protections that would basically codify Roe v. Wade into state law.
Right.
And they got nowhere with that bill, even though thousands of women filled out stuff. It's going to come up in the next session as well. And if you're elected, you'll be right in the middle of that issue. And I think a lot of women are thinking, where is he going to be? Is he just going to be going with the Senate president on this and saying no way this happens and just block legislation, or can they count on you for a vote?
I don't think that that's going to happen up there because they're clearly. And let's not forget. I think this is our first election since the presidential election.
Yeah.
I believe. Right. So let's see what that voter turnout says. It certainly has energized an awful lot of people to make the correct choices when they're voting and who they want in there, who the level head is. Again, I'm the guy that's going to be weighing it all out and work out some type of a law that I think everybody can live with. I don't want it to be so divided. I don't like and some issues just are, and it may be the case that it's just going to be you're on my side or you're on their side. There is no middle ground.
Right.
Hardly do I ever find out that that's the case. I think every single tough issue that I've dealt with usually can find a common ground.
Okay.
Usually can come up with some type of a satisfactory law that protects the woman's rights as well as the folks that think that the government should overreach and tell them that they cannot have that choice. To just say, let's say guns, for instance. It's an easier issue because you're not talking about a human life. I guess you are in a sense if the gun were to kill somebody. But my whole issue with weapons are they said they didn't want weapons in school, right? They said that was an issue that was tough. Last year when that issue came up legislatively, I voted against it. As the chairman of the school committee, I said, no, I don't support this. I wasn't chairman last round, I'm sorry, as just a seated elected official. This round, they actually changed and modified the law where they included peace officers and other people could actually carry guns in school. The first law said absolutely not. This one was better. It was worked on. I could agree with that. You see what I'm getting at?
Yep, I get that, sure.
I like to work where we can get a little bit more in the middle. That's all. Yeah.
That's all right. That's cool. I think that answers my questions more or less. I'm sure I can pull something out of there.
I mean, I wish you guys asked us this 2 months ago.
Well, if I had known it was going to be this kind of issue, I would have. It's just all of a sudden it's starting to crop up.
I know it.
And I was like, well, now I because I covered a lot of the women who were working to basically pass that law. So to them, it's directly relevant. And that's why I'm getting like, hey, what do you know about this? And I'm like, let me find out. So I'm just starting to do research.
In the meantime, if this is your cell phone, I'm also going to send you what I wrote.
Okay.
It was written and given to Ryan Belmore from What's Up Noop. Cool. Just so fair is fair. That was my statement to him. I just want to make sure that I'm going to give you that same statement.
That'd be great.
I only think that it's fair that I wrote it down for him. And when I hang up the phone, I'll send it to you as well.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
Hey, my dad was a firefighter in Warwick, by the way. So was my brother. So I know what that's like. So.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, hey, we're always there to help out. And,
I know.
I think all of us are going to be a little bit happy when the 19th comes around.
Oh, I think so. It makes it easier for everybody.
It's been one heck of a ride, and I've enjoyed it the whole way.
Awesome, good.
Unfortunately, these are like the rapids at the very end. And okay, well, I don't want to make a hiccup, but
thank you for making the time for me.
All right, you got it.
All right,
thanks. Bye.
I got to screw you over. Oh well.